I have part 5, the final part of my August 2018 reading wrap up for you guys. This one should be a lot shorter. I didn't read a lot this week, and most of what I read was on my Kindle. The first thing I read was The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L Frank Baum. I read this on my Kindle. I would show you the covers, but it takes forever, and I've already taken all of the stuff off my Kindle to make space. I gave this 5 stars. This is the first book in the Oz series, and my mom wants to read it now, and I plan to continue the series as well. I really enjoyed this. This was a reread for me, but it's been almost 10 years, more than 10 years. It's been a long time since I read it, and I really enjoyed rereading it. It was great. It's pretty different from the movie. I would definitely recommend reading it. It's not that long. I did a review of this, so that should be up already. So go check that out. And then the next, I'm going to talk about all of these together because this is the Bloodlands Collection series, but they don't have to be in order. It's just a collection of novellas, and they are all like Amazon published. They're free on Kindle. And you get them, and they come with the audible narration, and it doesn't cost anything either. And they're all by Harold Schechter?
How do you spell
it? Schechter.
Yeah, Schechter.
So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 books, 6 novellas in this little series. They're all nonfiction about murders. So if that sounds really interesting to you, I recommend all of them. They're great. They're very well done, especially considering each one is less than 100 pages. They're concise, to the point, tell you everything you need to know.
And they're really weird, obscure murderers.
Yeah.
It's not a 303 tread of like Ed Gein or Jeffrey Dahmer.
So the first one I read, and I gave all of them 4 stars. So the first one I read was The Pied Piper, which was about this guy that ended up killing 3 girls and had like a whole bunch of other, not necessarily kids, but like older high school, younger, or just past high school kids following him.
George Schmidt III with his stupid makeup. He was in the 60s.
I'm not mentioning any of their names. They're not worth it.
Yeah, they are, to look it up and go, wow, this guy was a jerk. Look up the book
and you can see, but I'm of the mindset where I would rather talk about the victims and remember them than glorify the murderers by spreading their names everywhere.
Okay.
So, but it was really good. I never heard of any of these. So that one was a serial killer, and like, it wasn't good that this stuff actually happened, but the book and how it was written and how concise it was, the narration on the audio, those parts were all very good. I can say the same thing for all of them. The next one was The Pirate. This was about a mass murderer this was the 19th century, and he got on this clam ship, killed everybody, basically left the ship bloody like crazy, and dumped everybody overboard, and took off with what money and valuables he could find, and clothes. And they call him the Pirate because since he did it on the ship on the water, they decided to charge him with piracy, because then they could hang him. Because if they charged him just with murder, they didn't have death penalty back then. So that one. Then there's Little Slaughterhouse on the Prairie, which was also 19th century. This was when we had the Homestead Act. And so all these people were going out places, and in Kansas, there was this family that had this little inn. It was kind of an inn. It was just their house and the sheet separating this little pallet on the floor that people could sleep on and pay the money for. And all these guys went missing, and they were killing people, and how they did it was really like bloody and gruesome. And I never even heard of them. So yeah, and they got away. They never found them, which is just crazy. Then there's The Brick Slayer, which was Chicago and LA. This guy was breaking into women's rooms, apartments, houses, would bash them over the head with a brick, I think there was one lady that survived. And he'd steal their stuff, and sometimes he would rape them. And then Panic is about a few different, around the time of the Great Depression. So you've heard of the Satanic Panic later on. Well, around the time of the Great Depression, there was a similar panic, but about guys molesting and killing kids. And really, there weren't that many cases, but everybody was freaking out about it because it was over-reported. So this is about a few different cases of that. And then Rampage is about this guy that just kind of lost it one day and killed like 13 people in his neighborhood, got shot in the butt, got arrested, calmly told them everything he did, and got sent to an insane asylum until 2009 when he died. And this happened in like the 50s or so. So yeah. The entire series was really interesting to read. I enjoyed reading them. That's most of what I read. The only other thing I read was Things Fall Apart by, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, Chinua Achebe. I did a review on this as well, so if you're interested in that, go check that out. It should be up by this point. This is book 1 in the African Trilogy. This was recommended to me for nonfiction November last year, although as I started reading it, I found out it was a fiction. I gave this 3 stars. It was really, well, go watch my review for more information, but it was interesting, but it was just like, okay, cool. Not like really awesome or amazing or anything. So yeah, that's everything I read this week of August. It's end of the month, so last thing, I have to brag on myself because I kept a tally and I read 9,149 pages this month, a fact that I am quite proud of. So just let me be happy and excited about that. I read a few big books earlier, so I was kind of curious, and I started keeping up with it, and yeah. That's all. Questions, comments, opinions, in the comments. Love to discuss any of these books with you guys. Check out those reviews I mentioned. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!